Here we are again. Welcome back. This is Round 2 Wrestling here on the 21st of June, 2022. I am SlimmDa KID. Thank you for tuning in to this brand new podcast. We have a lot to go over because guess what? There was a pay-per-view this weekend. That's right. There was a pay-per-view last weekend. There was a pay-per-view this weekend. And there is a pay-per-view upcoming this Sunday, June 26th. AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling present Forbidden Door. But that is something to talk about on a later episode of Round 2 Wrestling. Here we're going to kick things off in the rumor mill and discuss some of the rumors that are circulating in the world of professional wrestling as of today. Prior to last week's DUI arrest, AEW had a Hardy's tag title run in the works. Jeff's arrest, coupled with their Double or Nothing match, altered these plans. This is why I love the rumor mill, because it is only after the fact that AEW changed its tag team champions, and only after the fact that Jeff Hardy was arrested for a DUI does this rumor actually pop up. Now, it did look like maybe AEW was getting ready to put the tag team titles on the Hardy brothers, but at the same time, Jeff Hardy was showing signs of fatigue and an inability to stay healthy for very long, which would have, I think, hurt their chances for a title run in AEW more than it would have helped. It'll be interesting to see moving forward what AEW does with Matt Hardy, since he had nothing to do with Jeff's arrest and he was not released from AEW. Matt Hardy is still available to use, but his ties with the Hardy family office, now the Andrade family office, that storyline is done and over with. And people really weren't behind the whole delete thing when he first came in. Now, that was over a year ago, so maybe it's time to switch gears once again for Matt and let him explore that. But without Jeff Hardy and the Brother Nero character concept, it makes that whole storyline again more difficult to sell. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Matt Hardy and or Jeff Hardy in the upcoming weeks. With WWE's upper echelon under investigation, PW Insider reports John Laurinaitis has been placed on, quote, administrative leave, end quote, with Bruce Pritchard as interim of WWE Talent Relations. Again, for those of you who have been sleeping under a rock or have been standing there with your fingers in your ears and a blindfold over your eyes, you totally missed the allegations brought against owner and CEO of WWE, Vince McMahon. It was leaked last week that he had engaged in some sort of sexual relationship with a former WWE employee. A non-disclosure agreement may or may not have been brought up in this entire endeavor, but the woman at question could not keep her mouth shut, and rightfully so. A buy-off by the CEO and owner of WWE is sure to ruffle the feathers of shareholders, and it sure did, because this news was actually leaked by the Wall Street Journal, a very respectable and highly talked about newspaper seen throughout the country. So you know, if it's coming from this particular periodical, it probably has some weight and truth behind it. And the moves and actions that WWE has taken in lieu of this news only indicates to me that McMahon is guilty of what he is being accused of. It'll be interesting to see what happens moving forward. At the same time, his wife, Linda McMahon, has also been brought up in conversation after this has come to light. And several reporters and incumbents have said that Linda and Vince McMahon are married, and that's about it. The legality of it is the end of their marriage. Apparently, these two haven't seen eye to eye in quite some time, and it's probably no surprise if Linda leaves Vince after this particular unfortunate series of events dies down and goes by the wayside. But we here at Round 2 Wrestling, just like we do with all rumors and all news, will follow it as closely as possible to give you, the fans, an update that is as factual as possible. Insider reports the attorney defending Tammy Sonny Sitch in her DUI manslaughter case has filed a motion to remove himself as her legal representative. No explanation for this move was given at the time of this broadcast. Fightful Select reports Arya Daivari, and I may be saying that last name wrong, is still working for WWE as a producer on a trial basis, despite wrestling for other promotions such as AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and the National Wrestling Alliance. All right, that concludes our rumors that are circulating in the world that we were able to dig up and give to you, the fans, today. So we will move on from what may or may not be to what is more factual with the news portion of Round 2 Wrestling. WWE owner and CEO Vince McMahon steps down as CEO amid allegations of sexual misconduct with WWE former employees. Head of Talent Relations John Laurinaitis has stepped down as Talent Relations with WWE. We reported that earlier in the rumor mill, and Bruce Pritchard is the interim of WWE Talent Relations. Vince's daughter, Stephanie McMahon, has filled in his role as WWE CEO moving forward. We stated a few weeks ago that Shane and Stephanie were released from WWE by their father, Vince. Shane several months ago, Stephanie about a month ago, maybe 3 weeks. We told you it wasn't going to be long before one or both of them was involved with WWE in some sort of way, somehow. And I was absolutely correct. The daughter of Vince McMahon has stepped in to take control of WWE in the absence of Vince McMahon. This is not surprising. I would think that he would go with Stephanie first over Shane, simply because of the reasons Shane was left or was excused from his duties in WWE. And Triple H, Paul Levesque, could have been a good choice, but his health condition sort of prohibits him from being a front man and a hands-on CEO that I'm guessing the McMahon family would like. So once again, Stephanie has stepped in as WWE CEO while Vince has these allegations against him hashed out. Tomohiro Ishii defeated Clark Connors to advance to the finals of the All-Atlantic Championship 4-way title match at the AEW/New Japan Pro Wrestling pay-per-view Forbidden Door this upcoming weekend. Former WWE chairman and CEO Vince McMahon appeared on Monday Night Raw last night after appearing on SmackDown Friday night. McMahon heavily promoting John Cena's return and is enjoying as much time as he can get within his production and his promotion that he created before he may be forcefully withdrawn due to sexual misconduct allegations. 5 law firms have begun the process of bringing class action lawsuits against WWE. This is in response to the Wall Street Journal regarding the $3 million settlement to a former WWE employee over an alleged sexual relationship. The law firms in question are Scott & Scott, Rosen Law Firm, Shaw Law Firm, Labatten Socorro, and Eagle and Squire. These allegations and these news reportings, they're not rumors, are incredibly serious and are being taken incredibly seriously by all those involved. Vince McMahon has refuted and danced with the devil several times when it comes to misconduct with his wrestlers, with his employees, genuinely just being an asshole. And he is not above the law just like the rest of us, and it seems like he is going to be getting his comeuppance comeuppance, because the more time goes by, the more and more news and people are coming out and saying this is not something that is, a work or a shoot or a storyline. This is 100% factual, and this did happen, and we are pissed off. Just like we said about the rumor mill here at Round 2 Wrestling, we take getting news very seriously, and will continue to give you as much of this as we can and as accurately as possible. All right, no more news. We will jump right into the results this weekend. We had a pay-per-view take place, and we had a tag team title switch hands, so we will jump right into that. The Young Bucks defeated Jurassic Express to win the AEW tag team titles. They are now two-time tag team champions. Doudrop defeated Dana Brooke to win the WWE 24/7 championship. Jade Cargill defeated Willow Nightingale to retain the TBS championship. Rich Swann defeated Brian Myers to retain the Impact Digital Media championship. Shark Boy defeated Johnny Swinger to win the Reverse Battle Royal. Mike Bailey defeated Ace Austin, Alex Zane, Andrew Everett, Kenny King, and Trey Miguel to win the X Division championship. Rosemary and Taya Valkyrie defeated the Influence to win the Impact Knockouts tag team titles. The Good Brothers defeated the Briscoes to win the Impact tag team titles. Jordan Grace defeated Chelsea Green, Deonna Purrazzo, Mia Yim, and Tasha Steelz to win the Knockouts World Championship in a Queen of the Mountain match. Josh Alexander defeated Eric Young to retain the Impact World Championship. Yes, there are a ton of Impact results this week because Slammiversary took place this past weekend. In case you missed it, it is still available to buy and watch on Fight TV. All right, no more results. Time to dip our toes into the Did You Know portion of Round 2 Wrestling, a fan favorite. Did you know Max Paul Bunyan Palmer is the tallest professional wrestler in history, standing an incredible 8 feet 2 inches tall? Did you know the last ECW event at the ECW Arena took place December 23rd, 2000? The event was called Holiday Hell. Did you know the first black wrestling champion was Jamaican-born wrestler Frank Crozier in 1909, winning the world middleweight title in London, England? Did you know Kurt Angle's first WWF match was against Grandmaster Sexay in a dark match, and this took place April 1999? Did you know Alberto El Patron is the only wrestler to win the CMLL, AAA Mexico, TNA, and WWE World titles? Did you know only 3 wrestlers main evented WrestleMania as both a heel and a babyface, and won these matches? They are Triple H, Brock Lesnar, and Roman Reigns. Did you know Cactus Jack, a.k.a. Mick Foley, wrestled against Andre the Giant in a tag team match in 1991 for All Japan Pro Wrestling? All right, that is it. Nothing else to talk about here on Round 2 Wrestling. I am SlimmDa KID, and I personally want to thank you for tuning in to this brand new podcast. I also want to take the time to thank Ultimate Championship Wrestling out of Saginaw, Michigan, for letting me get back into the pro wrestling game and referee. Be sure to check us out on YouTube. That is UCW Star Slam on YouTube, with brand new episodes every Friday at 6 for you to enjoy. All right, thank you again for tuning into this episode of Round 2 Wrestling, and be sure to tune in next week for a brand new episode. Round 2 Wrestling is brought to you by SlimmDa KID and Spreaker.com.